Alright, so we're going to solve some trig word problems. The first one we're going to look at has to do with Bill and Jose. Bill and Jose are rehearsing Jose's monologue for a spoken word competition. There will be no microphones. The competition will be in a room that is 60 feet deep from the point where Jose will be speaking. Bill notices that the angle of elevation to the top of Jose's head is 15 degrees. Bill is seated such that his head is 3 feet off the ground, and he knows that Jose is 5 feet 9 inches tall. How are Bill and Jose recreating the competition space? So the question is actually more of a yes or no question. It's not really asking us to find a value, but what we do need to do is find the value before we can answer yes or no to this question. So the setup, the first thing we want to do is see if we can get this drawn out. So I'm creating a triangle, even though it's kind of being superposed on the situation. Over here we have the top of Bill's head. We know that that head is 3 feet off the ground, where this of course is the ground, all right? And then over here, this entire side here is 5.75 feet, because that's Jose's height. So when we draw this triangle, of course we have this extra piece down here, and then of course we also know that this is 15 degrees right there. Most of the time when we're dealing with word problems that involve trig, it's about identifying the correct setup, putting the pieces in the correct spots, identifying where the right angle is, and then we're kind of off to the races about which trig function do we need to use. So we really don't have any sides here to work with just yet. We have this 3, we have this 5.7. The problem with 5.75 is it is this entire length right here as opposed to just being this part of the triangle. Keeping in mind that this is what we're looking for. This is the distance between Bill and, we'll call this spot right here J for Jose, all right? So Jose's standing up, so this is the top of his head. So the entire length is 5.75. This section right here is 3, which means that this is 2.75. Now, what I will point out to you here is that this triangle is not drawn to scale. It was actually done intentionally to kind of re-emphasize the idea. It's not really what it looks like, it's what the math tells us is going on here. So what is the trig that is happening here? So looking from the angle of 15 degrees, from Bill's perspective, this would be the opposite side. The length we're looking for is the distance between them, which we can call x or whatever variable we want. So opposite side, adjacent side, the trig function that involves that is tangent. So tangent of the angle, in this case it's 15 degrees, is equal to the opposite side over unknown quantity of x, right? So now it's just a matter of doing a little bit of algebra to solve this equation. So we have 2.75 divided by x. Yes, it's a fraction, but we're going to think of this in terms of division. So I'm going to multiply this side by x. I'm going to multiply this side by x. All right? Then that gets rid of those x's for us, and we have x times tangent of 15 degrees equals 2.75. So to continue to isolate for x, we need to undo what is being done to x. Not really good mathematical terminology, but it is what we're thinking. X times our coefficient is what we're doing right there. So we need to divide by this to do the inverse of that multiplication. So we're going to divide by tangent of 15 degrees and tangent of 15 degrees. So we get x is equal to 2.75 over tangent of 15 degrees. All right? And then it's a matter of grabbing a calculator and doing these calculations. You can do this without a calculator. It might be a little tricky, but we can grab the calculator and do this. Make sure your calculator's in degree mode. And when we do that process, we find that x is equal to 10.263 feet, approximately. I really should put an approximate sign there rather than an equal sign, because this is not the exact value. I am rounding to that spot right there, the 3. So are they recreating the competition scenario where Bill needed to be in the back of the room at 60 feet away? And no, they're not. He's only 10 feet away. So the answer here to this problem would be no. All right? So they are not recreating the competition space. They are strictly just practicing this, just a strict rehearsal in this case. Thank you for watching.